Okay, so now that we've gone through and physically connected the modem, physically connected uh, the DigiPort server, configured the modem, and configured the port to the network, and configured the DigiPort server to the network, and I've gone through all the setup procedures for configuring the port server with the ViewLink server, installing the driver. The next step is to actually go into the modem and check to see whether the modem is actually connecting to your internet service provider through your SIM card. I'm logged into the Digi IX20, and if you go to dashboard gives you an overview of the system configuration and what it's running, what isn't running. You should see under network activity, you should see ETH2 because you're using ETH2 to talk to the modem. ETH1 should be inactive because you haven't configured that with anything and you won't. Digi Remote Manager should be disabled. If for some reason it's enabled, you want to actually go in and disable it. But you can also see additional status information. Your MAC address is always visible, serial number of the device. You also see the amount of uptime. So anytime you're logging in here, you can see what the status of it is. It also even gives you the internal temperature of the modem. But down here below, you'll see the actual modem connection through the SIM card. This shows the modem is up and running. And this button over here under modems, this gives you the ability to go in and see what the modem's actually doing on the cellular network. There's a lot of different information over here about the IMEI number. This is on a sticker on the modem itself. If you have a service provider that requires all modems to be registered, that is the number that you want to give to them. So it'll recognize the modem when you connect to their network using a SIM card. The next thing down here, this is the actual IP4 address. If you have a SIM card that has data, the data address will be active over here. This is going to be the IP address that you're given on the internet. Down here where it says connection status, this verifies that your modem is connected. It tells you how long it's been up. And it also tells you the APN, and this is connected to T-Mobile. One of the neat features of this is you can actually read what network it's connected to. So if I click scan, it'll scan through all the available carriers in range. You typically would not even go into this part unless you were having an issue and looking to diagnose issues specifically with your carrier connecting. And this can take several minutes to run because basically it's pinging towers and seeing what else is out there outside of the cell tower it's currently talking to. Okay, now it's come back with all the different available carriers. I'm here in the US. We have T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon. There's a couple, this FirstNet, I'm not really familiar with them. But these are the other towers that are in range, and also tells you what service is available. If you're coming up here, for example, and there's a 2G tower that's available, and that's what you're connecting to, I've seen this before where the modem connects to a 2G tower. It's going to probably be due to the fact that your SIM card is old. Make sure that you get a new SIM card for any modem that you set up. Don't try to repurpose an older card that may have been in an old modem and just try and start it back up again. You need to make sure that you're running a 4G card. So as you can see, this is connected to wireless under a 4G, but there's other carriers. If I was using a Verizon SIM card, it would connect to this tower. this network. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you, there are additional settings that may be required for your particular carrier. All right, there's one setting that exists in the configuration on the modem that you may need to get into. And this is really the control panel for the modem itself and its communication with with your cellular carrier. Now, if you remember correctly, there was two slots that are on the DigiCore module. There's SIM1 and SIM2. You can actually go a little bit in depth and have a failover from one SIM card to the other SIM card. Interface, which is under configuration, network, interfaces, modem. This is how you get into the section of the configuration interface where you have the ability to tweak the SIM slots. In other words, to pinpoint a specific SIM slot on the device. If you set it to any SIM, it's fine. But if your SIM card has a PIN code, you can manually enter in the PIN code here. And it would be necessary if you had a PIN code for a SIM card, you'd have to manually enter it in here or it wouldn't authenticate. And with the failover here, with one card inside of it, it's going to reset the modem. You can have it reboot the device. So there's a couple of different configuration options on here. Typically, you're going to have just one card in here. And if you have a second card in here, if you have the SIM failover enabled on here, it's going to go to a second SIM card if the first one has a connection problems. And also carrier selection mode, you have the ability to manually set it. Also, you can turn off roaming. There's a couple of other features that are built into this modem. You would only access this in the event that you're actually running into problems. APN lists, you have the ability to enter in additional information if it's necessary from your carrier. These are the different options that would be necessary if your particular carrier requires it. You may have to create an APN entry in here.